Foundations, Fen here. I am going to show you how to professionally finish this fabric. So this is my fabric here, and if you look closely, I have a box drawn on it, and that's going to represent where my most important part is. You don't have to draw a box on yours, but you can if you want to. I would recommend using a pencil. I have a box that's going to be what I use to mount my fabric on. And I have a glue bottle and a pair of scissors. So let's get started. First thing that you want to do is you want to open up any like cereal box, or I've used pizza boxes before. We're all ordering things online right now, so you probably have a couple of shipping boxes around the house too. That'll work fine. Plain cardboard like this or double layer corrugated cardboard works fine too. The way that you want to open these boxes, if you have a box, is to not cut it open, but find where the box attaches to other parts of the box. And pop those areas open, like the bottom here. And then look on the inside and see where one side connects to the other. You can also see this on the outside. And slide it open from that point. This is going to prevent your box from getting destroyed. Next thing you're going to want to do is cut this the same size or a little bit smaller than your box. So the box is the area that you want to show. So the most important part of your fabric, the designed part of your fabric. So I'm going to take this and just fold it and fold it so that the edges of the fabric that I don't want to see are hidden. You can press this down a little bit and that's going to help. Then I'm going to fold it back this way. Fold it back this way. Okay, so now I have my fabric folded and put on my cardboard here. I am going to take a marker or a pencil and carefully trace around the edge of my fabric. I recommend a pencil, that way you don't accidentally mark your fabric. Now this line is just kind of like a guess, an estimate. It's not the line that you're going to cut because I doubt it's going to be very straight. I'm going to use the edge of the box there. Now go grab your ruler. So I have my ruler. I marked out about the size of my fabric. I did it in marker so that you could see it. You should do it in pencil. I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to move the line in about 1/8 of an inch. So let me show you really close what I mean by that. Okay, do you see it's slightly in from the edge? So I can redraw a nice straight line. And I also will have the edge of my design fold around the edge of this cardboard. So I'm going to do that to all of the sides. Just move it in about 1/8 of an inch to get nice straight lines. Again, I'm going to do this with a Sharpie so that you can see those lines, but really you should be doing this with a pencil, because Sharpie can bleed and it can transfer from the cardboard onto your fabric, and you don't want that. So that's my line within a line. I'm going to cut the inside lines. I'm going to take my pair of scissors and carefully and neatly cut the inner line, that straight line. Once I'm done, if it makes it easier for you to get rid of the excess cardboard first, you can absolutely do that. So I'm just cutting along the inside line. Okay, so I've got 2 sides done. Try and cut as straight as possible on the line. This can get recycled. Now open up your fabric. Take your backer board, that's what we're going to call this now, it's backer board, and you're going to place it onto your fabric to make sure that it fits. It should be slightly smaller than the area that your design is on. Slightly smaller. Sometimes what I do, and it makes it easier, is I cut my fabric. So I will take my fingers and I'll use 2 fingers to represent about an inch. And I cut my fabric, little snip, and I tear it. So now I have an inch right past my line. I'm going to do that all the way around. So about an inch. Snip. I love this, that sound of tearing fabric. An inch. And pull. About an inch. Cut and pull. So now I have an inch of fabric all the way around that box where the design that I want to save is. This fits into my design box. Now I'm going to flip my fabric over. You can't see where the line is on this side, but you know that it's centered in this box because you have an inch border. This, you're going to put glue on the brown side, okay? Put glue in the top corners. I like making little L's in the corners. Okay? Now make a big X across the center. And put dots of glue around the edge. So I just do 3 dots of glue. Now I'm going to center this on my fabric. If your fabric's super wrinkly, you can ask for help to iron it, or you can iron your fabric on your own if you're able to do that. But you want to make sure that your box and your fabric line up. So something that I like to do is I hold it up to the light and I can see through where my design is, and I can shift my cardboard around if it's not in the right spot. So I'm like looking like through it like this, okay? Now that box is glued down, I'm just gonna take my hands and press down on the glue from the front. A little bit of glue on my hands. Now I'm gonna flip it over, and I'm going to put glue on the back side of this cardboard. Putting L's in the corners again, but I'm not going to make an X across the back. I'm going to put a line down the side. So it's like making a border around it. Now I'm going to fold my fabric over and carefully press it down. So I'll do the side closest to me and then the side furthest away from me. Now you have this fabric folded over, so if I fold this, there are going to be spots that it doesn't glue, and I'm going to have a lot of extra fabric here. So what I like to do is I like to fold this like a present. So I'm going to take the corner and fold the corner in. I put a little bit of glue there just to hold everything together. Push that down and squish it. It might not stay very well. You might have to hold it a little bit. Sometimes I tape it. Push it down and squish it. And then I take this, now folded corner, push it over, and let that glue down. Hold it for a couple seconds so that it sticks. If it doesn't stick, you might have to add some more glue. I've got school glue, you've got glue wall. Mine's a little bit different than yours. If you have some masking tape, painter's tape, or scotch tape, even duct tape would work. You can tape this down, and that'll help the glue adhere. And I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. So let's review. We're going to put some glue here, because my glue's drying a little bit. We're going to put some glue in the corner here. Bloop, bloop. Glue in the corner here. Bloop, bloop. And then I'm going to fold these corners in like a present. Just fold it over in a little triangle. Hold that there. Fold it over in a little triangle. Hold that there. And then I'm going to flip it down onto the glue. Cut that little string off. Now, since it's not sticking very well, I'm going to weigh it down. Grab myself some tape. And tape it down to help stick. So this is what you want to see from the front, and this is what you want to see from the back. It should be nice and tight on the front. You shouldn't have any wrinkles or ripples. If you do, take the moment right now, pull it all apart, and try again. Okay, you don't want any wrinkles or ripples on the front. You will see glue on the front until it dries. This glue does dry clear. You might have a different texture in that area when you feel it, but it will still look like your design. Now set this aside so that it can dry in a safe place, so that nothing's going to mess with it. Once it's dry, you're going to photograph this and upload it to your submissions. So I like to photograph with my phone. And the best way to photograph with your phone is to hold your design or hold your phone directly above your object in a spot that has good lighting. Now, if you take a photograph of it when it's wet, you're gonna see those awful lines. Gross. You wanna make sure that it's dry when you photograph it. You also wanna make sure that you edit your photo, because a lot of your designs are almost like a square. So you can crop down all of that border stuff. So here I'm gonna do it. Crop down all of that yucky border so that it's a smaller, neater border. Much better. Then that can be uploaded to your Schoology submission. All right, that's it, guys. Make sure that your fabric is dry when you do this. Make sure that you have some sort of cardboard backing. And before you take your submission photo, your glue is dry so you don't see it. All right, I'm excited to see all your work.